Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, podcast family? Phil Graham here, and welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 339. Today, I'm going to be sharing 3 potential $1 million hooks for your Facebook and Instagram ads. Now, these hooks, my friends, are time-tested, they're proven, they are not theory, and they are insanely powerful. In addition to these hooks, I'm also going to be covering some common mistakes that people make at the beginning of their videos and ad copy with their hooks. This should be a value-packed episode. I cannot believe that it is November, you guys. Like, that is nuts. The year is going by so fast. I hope you're ready for the holiday season. Whether you're an e-commerce business, service business, or local, it's a great time to be advertising. Make sure you guys are leveraging it because there is so much opportunity out there, my friends. And by the way, if you're looking for either some one-on-one coaching so you can learn ads, or you're looking for someone to run your ads for you, for either one of those things, reach out. You can go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. I would love to connect with you. Also, you can use those anytime you have ideas for episode topics or questions about anything I've talked about in an episode previously. Feel free to reach out. So let's jump right in. I need to start off by telling you why hooks are so important. You could have the best product or service in the world, the best everything. But if you don't get somebody's attention to actually see what you're doing and see the product or service, then guess what? It doesn't matter. And there is so much noise out there that you have to be able to get attention. And typically the hook is what gets the attention. What does that mean? The hook is like the first thing you say in the first few seconds of a video. It's also can be like a headline in your ad, and definitely it's the first part of the ad copy on your ad as well. Even on your landing page, it's like the first part of your landing page. The first thing people see can be considered a hook in all these different places. So if you don't have a good one, if you don't have a way to get their attention, then that's not going to be helpful. You're probably not going to succeed. So let's talk about these 3 potential $1 million hooks for your ads. And then also after that, make sure that you're not making some common mistakes when it comes to hooks. Hook number 1 is curiosity. It is one of my favorite hooks to use. We use these in so many ads, and it really leverages something called the information gap theory. I know those are fancy words. It's some psychologist that made it up. But essentially, people are driven to close the gap of what they know and what they don't know, like what they want to know. And that's part of that information gap. And curiosity leverages that. I love having curiosity in ads. It just naturally gets people to want to see more or hear more. And that's so powerful. And I'm going to give you guys a couple examples of curiosity hooks in ads. One of them is from GoPro, and they had an ad that was called the Be a Hero ad. And they would show these crazy adventures and this footage that was nuts, like sometimes somebody jumping out of a plane or just doing crazy stuff. And the footage was all shot with the GoPro, but they didn't like show how it was shot. So it generated curiosity about what the GoPro was capable of, but not exactly how to use it to get that kind of shot. So you were curious so you could find out more so that you could learn how to do certain shots that might be tricky. That was a great example of using curiosity in their ads. Another great example is Geico. Now, I'm sick of hearing this one, but they've got this, did you know that 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance? I've heard it a million times. I'm tired of it, but it works. It grabs attention and gets people curious about how they can save and save so fast. So those are a couple good examples. I've got an example of mine that I could use that I think is really powerful. I could say something like, do you want to know the 13 words I learned from Mark Cuban that helped me build $1 million business? Like, anybody who's looking to succeed in business is probably going to be pretty curious about what those are. It's true, by the way. And they're going to want to learn more. That just generally develops that curiosity, and it's going to get them to continue to engage with the ad. So make sure that you guys are testing and using curiosity hooks. Now, make sure that you don't clickbait with this stuff. You don't want it to be something that it's not, like a YouTube clickbait. You don't want to do that. Make sure it's real and that it's not a bait and switch kind of a thing. And that will be very powerful. Hook number 2, another one of my favorites, is asking questions as the hook. This, again, can be done in the headline of an ad. It can be done at the beginning of the ad copy. It's a great way to start the ad in terms of the ad copy. And also, when you're doing video ads, it could be the first thing you say. It could be a question. It is so powerful because typically when somebody hears or reads a question, they internalize it more than a statement. It gets them to just subconsciously think of it, because when they're reading it or hearing it, they're kind of asking themselves the same question. It's really powerful. These things do insanely well as hooks with ads. So when you're thinking about what kind of questions to ask, there's a million different things you can do. I like sometimes using a couple words and then filling in the rest. So starting off by saying, what if, and then you figure out what to say after the what if, or did you know that? And then finish that sentence with something that applies directly to your product or service or your angle. And you got to make it interesting. So one good example is from Delta Airlines. They had a campaign called "Where Are We Going Today? Where would you like to go?" Now that's really powerful, because if you see that or hear that, it's going to make you think about it, even just for a second. And that encourages you to kind of ponder, where would I like to go? And they've done their job. They've gotten your attention. And then you might keep watching or looking to see, do they have some deals or whatever? Like that's powerful. That's a really good question in an ad. Even statements can be turned into questions. I love doing this. Like, take whatever statement you would make in a headline and just put a question mark at the end. So for example, just a random example, you could have a headline that says "Ultimate Guide to Travel Hacks." You could turn it into a better hook by saying "Ultimate Guide to Travel Hacks" as a question. Just that little question mark at the end makes it look like, oh, is this? I wonder if this is. Let me find out. And they're going to want to engage with the ad more. So questions are really powerful hooks. Make sure you guys put them into use, because it's amazing what kind of effect they can have on your ad results. And then hook number 3 is what I call the micro content pain point and differentiation hook. I know that's a lot of words, but essentially it's focusing on the pain points that your product or service solves for your customers, and how you are different in solving those pain points. So what's important here is that no matter what kind of business you're in, you solve a pain point. What's important when you start off with a hook of micro content pain points is you don't just jump to the solution. You've got to start with the problem. You've got to start with where they are right now. So for example, this would be a really good way to do it. I could say something like this: are you struggling to get clients? Stop doing what everyone else is doing and start using a system that's designed to attract high quality clients, so they come to you instead of you having to chase after them. Okay, what did I do there? I started out with the pain point or the problem, which was, are you struggling to get clients? And then essentially I inferred differentiation by saying, stop doing what everyone else is doing and start using a system that's designed to attract blah, blah, blah. So I inferred differentiation and a solution to that. And that was all in one little sentence that could be at the beginning of an ad, or it could be what I say when I'm starting a video. but I think you get the idea. Like, it's super powerful. So no matter what kind of business you have, if you use a micro content pain point and add in your differentiation and you start with the problem first, that can be really powerful. And then a quick pro tip, you can also combine many different hooks together. So you could have a hook that drives curiosity and also asks a question and also is focused on a pain point and differentiation. That could all be in one hook. You don't have to just do one or the other. You could combine them for a really good hook, and that's super powerful as well. So when you're doing these, make sure that you do it in the headline. And obviously there it's trickier because you only have a small amount of space, but see what you can do there. But everywhere else, you've got plenty of room to work with. The beginning of your ad copy, like the first sentence or paragraph, same thing on your landing page. And then certainly when you're doing videos, it's going to be the first thing you say. The first 5 to 10 seconds of your video should be your hooks. And so lastly, I just want to cover a couple quick mistakes that people make. This is very common when it comes to hooks, especially as it relates to video, but it also is the same for written copy as well. Having a long and boring introduction, whether it's a video or written copy, is not good. That's not going to help you. You're probably going to fail if you have that as the start of your hook. Another big mistake is having an introduction at the beginning of your video. For example, like if I do a video, instead of saying, "Are you struggling to get clients?" if I start off by introducing myself, "Hey, my name's Phil, blah, blah, blah," like within 3 or 4 seconds, that's not going to be anything that pertains to them right now. That doesn't talk about their problem at all. And so why am I introducing myself right away? No, I don't want to do that. What I want to do first is introduce the problem, the hook, get their attention. And then after I do that, then I can introduce myself, establish some credibility, and then go on with the rest of the video. But what most people do is they make that mistake of doing the intro. And in the first 3 or 4 seconds of the video, you still haven't talked about anything that's important to the viewer. And then they're gone. And then it doesn't matter what you say for the whole rest of the video. Don't make that mistake. And then lastly, just not having a hook. Just pure spam or no hooks. It's so common. And people wonder why they fail and say ads don't work. Well, of course it doesn't work when your ads suck. Don't make those mistakes, my friends. So these 3 hooks are very, very powerful. Like I said at the beginning, they're not theory. They're tested, they're proven, and they can do wonders for your ads. So make sure you guys try these out. My friends, episode 339 is in the books. I got some cool stuff coming up for you guys in the upcoming episodes. I will talk to you next week. Have a great week. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.